As of the past week or two, I have had an increasing amount of friends and family members reach out to me about where they should park their hard-earned dollars. I take this as a sign that people are seeing inflation in real time in their everyday lives, whether it's at the gas pump, grocery store, car dealership, etc. Prices across the board, as we all know, are up considerably since just 1 year ago today. People around the world are realizing year after year, inflation is eating away at their currency, and because of this pandemic, it is happening at an accelerated rate because governments are spending like crazy. Money printers around the world are going burr, which is causing currencies to devalue, as we mentioned, at an accelerated rate in comparison to what we are used to. Here in the US, we're used to 2 to 3% inflation year over year. As we all know, this is a recipe for disaster, and people are starting to notice. So when you have the Federal Reserve, for example, lying through their teeth saying we will only see a 4 to 5% inflation rate for this year and that it's transitory, even though a quick Google search will show you that 40% of the US dollars in circulation as of today were created or printed within the past 18 months. Something smells fishy here, and I'm glad I'm not the only one catching a whiff. So we're going to go over more or less the two demographics that make up the friends and family members that are reaching out to me, and what those different demographics can do to put themselves ahead of the herd, ahead of the normies, so to speak, ahead of the average person. So we're going to take a look at the older demographic first. This includes your Gen Xers, Boomers, and Silent Generation types. Now, this is the demographic of the two least likely to reach out to yours truly for financial advice. It makes sense, you guys. Why would a 55, 65, or 75-year-old take financial advice from a 25-year-old like myself? The reality is our financial situations / levels of risk-taking are drastically different / incongruent. Nonetheless, I still have friends, family members, and coworkers from this older demographic asking me for financial advice when it comes to crypto, because they're realizing that, you know what, whatever I was doing with my finances for the past 5, 10 plus years was not working out. Some of them are even coming to the conclusion that they were fed this pipe dream by the media, government, big name investors, friends and family members were even perpetuating this pipe dream without even realizing it, that if you just worked hard enough, worked 50, 60, 70 plus hours a week, saved every penny and put it in the bank, you would get ahead in life. You'd be able to afford the car of your dreams, the house of your dreams, the lifestyle of your dreams, the retirement plan of your dreams. And realizing it was nothing but a pipe dream. Because little by little over the years, inflation ate away at the wages of this older demographic. And since wages for the most part across the board have stayed relatively stagnant since the 1970s, it was almost like they were taking a pay cut year after year because they were having to work an extra 5 hours a week, 10 hours a week to put the same amount of food on the table and or just to get ahead in life. This is ridiculous. So they're fed up. They're recognizing that what they were doing was not working out, and that's the first big step in this process, is recognizing you were wrong and you need to adapt and pivot. That's what a smart person does. And so people coming to me for financial advice from this older demographic are making the right decisions. If they invest wisely and they don't put their money in shit projects, I think this older demographic can retire very handsomely or very wealthy. Again, if they make the right moves and they're investing enough too. So I'm going to give you an example of this older demographic. I had one family member reach out to me, and they were ready to make an account on Binance US, have me pick out their portfolio, manage their trades, and they were willing to be my first client / pay me a fee for every trade I completed. I was getting this family member's portfolio ready, and then I got a text from them explaining that they had changed their mind about crypto because they had spoken to a financial advisor, and the advisor advised only having a very small percentage of their portfolio allocated in crypto just because of the volatility. And I just sat there and thought to myself, has this family member really compared their financial situation to their financial advisor? Like, you do realize this financial advisor probably is managing millions, if not tens, if not hundreds of millions of dollars. Hence, he or she does not want to just double or triple his money. He or she is cool with a 10 to 20% return per year because they've already grown their capital to 7 to 8, 9 figures. Just for reference, this family member is wanting to invest only a few $1,000s. So I don't know why they would settle just for a 10 to 20% return on their investment when they could get an easy 2 to 5x in crypto, even on the safer plays like Bitcoin and Ethereum. But to each to their own, they can invest how they see fit. Also, why do you think this advisor is not suggesting crypto? This financial advisor probably made his or her money via traditional investments, aka stocks, bonds, real estate, metals, etc. He or she also does not want to have all his or her clients blowing up their phones every day, complaining about the volatility. Even with Bitcoin and Ethereum, like some of these big name investors are super conservative. They would be shitting bricks if they saw Bitcoin tank 5 to 10% in a single day. They'd be losing their marbles. So I just don't see, that's more or less why I don't see these financial advisors recommending crypto for their clients. They don't like the volatility. They don't want to have to deal with all the constant bitching via phone calls about the volatility. Not to be too critical of the older demographic, but I think their main issue is they view investing as super risky. Like, oh, well, if I invest the dollars, I might lose it. And it's like, the reality behind investing is you got to risk it for the biscuit. If you're not willing to put some money on the line, if you're not willing to lose some money, you will never make the crazy gains, whether it's in the stock market or crypto. And again, like, people from this older demographic looking to play it super safe, super conservative, they can just stick with Bitcoin and Ethereum. And some of these people who start right now will have a retirement plan in 5 to 10 years' time. Like, it's no joke, you guys. Bitcoin and Ethereum, you can make stupid money off of the two biggest cryptocurrencies in the game. Like, don't overthink this. If you want to play it really, really safe, just stick with Bitcoin and Ethereum, ignore everything else, and buy small amounts. That's the other thing. Like, I have a coworker, every time I see him, he's like, is today the day to buy Ethereum? And I'm like, dude, just buy $100, $200 worth every time you see it down, and you will make stupid returns. Like, right now, Ethereum's right around 4,100. He was like ecstatic when it was like 47, 4,800 not too long ago. I'm like, dude, you can make almost 20% gains to the all-time high. And you know Ethereum's going to go higher this cycle. You know Bitcoin's going to go higher this cycle. So it's kind of like a no-brainer. You want to be buying on these pullbacks, but this older demographic doesn't understand it the same way the younger demographic does, because it's such a new technology, the blockchain. Like it's a very interesting concept / complicated concept to wrap your head around. Next, we're going to talk about the younger demographic. This includes your millennials, Gen Z, Gen A types. This is a demographic most likely of the two to come to me for financial advice. I think it's because younger minds typically are more open / receptive to new information. Not to mention, there is a thing such as neuroplasticity. Goes with the saying, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. There are older people from that older demographic that are willing to learn and adapt and pivot, but a large majority are not. So that is why I had to mention the neuroplasticity part. Not to mention the millennials and Gen Zers have seen to a great extent that, their parents worked 40, 50, 60, 70 hours a week just to put food on the table, just to get ahead in life, just to fund / save for their future dream, whether it's a house, car, retirement plan, etc. And they're realizing in real time that their parents may not benefit from the fruits of their hard labor all these years. So they more or less say, F that, F the system. I'm just going to ape into meme stonks like GameStop and AMC. I'm going to put my money in SHIT coins like Doge and Shiba Inu. Now, this is a big generalization. Not every person from this younger demographic is making those moves, making those plays, but it seems to be the trend as of late, especially this year. So overall, even though I'm not crazy about the SHIT coins, I think they do have their place. And I think overall they are good for the space because some of those profits roll over into sound projects. Just as I was critical about the older demographic being too scared to invest because they view it as potentially losing money down the road, they don't want to risk it for the biscuit, I think I need to be equally as critical about the younger demographic. I think the younger demographic that I'm part of, we just spend way too much money on BS, whether it's Starbucks every day, whether it's trying to impress someone with the $750 car payment that we have to make every month, whether it's the $1,500 studio that we live in, whether it's eating out several times a week, whether it's having like 20 different subscriptions that you can't keep track of, whether it's buying designer clothes. Like, you guys, I'm guilty of this too. Like, a few years ago, I racked up like over 10 G's in credit card debt. I was buying stupid shit I didn't need. I was subscribing for things that I didn't really need, and it was weighing me down. In the past year or two, I've gotten a lot of my subscriptions, a lot of my finances in order, which has allowed me to have money every month to invest into my financial freedom, to invest into my future life-changing wealth, which is here in crypto. And you can do the same. Like, younger people, like in high school and like middle school, you guys can get started too. For you high schoolers, you guys got to get a job. I have a brother who's 10 years younger than me. He just got a job like 2-3 weeks ago. He's looking to invest $100 a week into crypto because, just like me, he sees it is the future as more and more things become digitized. Like, crypto's going to take over, you guys. There's no way of going around it. I know you're not going to like your first job. You're probably going to hate it. It's going to suck. But that's part of the game. You got to start somewhere. You got to start investing earlier so that way you're able to enjoy the fruits of your labor when you're older and you're not slaving away 50, 70 hours a week like everyone else, struggling to pay the rent, car payment, etc. Those of you who are like in middle school or like grade school and you still want to get investing, I would see if maybe your parents would give you a little bit of money for some chores. Like, maybe you do some laundry, wash the plates, you take out the trash. Like, every little bit amount of money counts, you guys. I know some parents aren't really open to that. Like, my mom, like when I was little, she'd only give me a few quarters for doing X, Y, and Z, but every little bit counts. So if you get started today, you will be miles ahead of the herd. Do not get discouraged, is what I'm trying to say. Like, I get it. It sounds like it's a lot of work, but time flies. I know from firsthand experience, like when you're little, a year seems like eternity. But as you get older, the years fly by. It's crazy how it works. We're seeing some volatility in the market, you guys. Like, this is when you want to be buying altcoins and Bitcoin. Like, you don't want to be buying when shit's popping off. Not financial advice, but I would put a little bit of money in the market right now, whether it's in Bitcoin, Ethereum, Binance Coin, Solana. Like, there's some really, really good deals. This may be the last big pullback that we have before things go absolutely parabolic, this bull run. That's not to say that Bitcoin can't come down a little bit more. I mean, some people were calling 55, 53K. I'm just buying little by little. You got to spread out those buys, dollar cost average your way into the market. Don't put all your money into one trade. That's how you get wrecked. The older demographic probably wants to stick to the safer plays in the game, like Bitcoin and Ethereum. You can't go wrong with that. Binance Coin even. Solana is relatively safe too. The younger demographic may or may not want to play with something a little bit more volatile, like VGX token, Ecomi, Engine Coin, Helium, Cosmos, VeChain, Polygon. Like, a lot of these altcoins are on fire sale, like, no joke. You can get some really, really good buys right now if you got some money on the side. That's why I always say you got to take profits on the way up. That way you can take advantage of the dip when it occurs. That about does it for today's video, everyone. If you found today's video helpful in any way or form, please smash that like button, subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Got some links down below, so please check them out. Earn some passive income on the crypto you're hodling long-term and short-term over on Celsius and BlockFi. Get trading today over on Voyager and Binance US. Stay up to date with crypto prices over on CoinMarketCap. Stay up to date with altcoin events and news on CoinMarketCal. Follow me over on Instagram for occasional updates. Until next time, everyone, I hope you all have a wonderful day and take care.